All right, summer is here. It's time for boating, barbecues, all things sunshine and slacking off, right? No, but really, do you want to have a paycheck come fall? I do. We're going to dive into how to enjoy summer while still staying on track with your business so you have a paycheck come fall. Let's dive in. You're listening to the Girl Get Your Face Off a Bus Bench podcast, where we invite you to check your ego at the app, grab a cup of coffee, and get ready to dive into all things real estate marketing, social media, friendship, hardship, love, money mindset, and all the things that celebrate you as a badass boss babe.
We're here to encourage you, show up for you, give you a loving kick in the pants when you need it most, and be your soft place to land on the hardest of days. So pull up a seat at our table and get ready to be inspired and start living your best life by design.
Welcome to the Girl Get Your Face Off a Bus Bench podcast. We are so excited you're here.
Okay, girls, let's dive in.
Good?
Perfect.
Not good?
That's good.
Hey, Beth.
Hey, Christy.
I'm kind of disappointed that you didn't start our summer episode singing because that is like a tradition that we do.
When I listened to the one from last year where I sang, it was cringe worthy.
Oh, I totally disagree.
Well, I will stand on that hill, and I'm not singing this year.
Man.
It was bad.
Man. All right, so in my notes here at the top, it says, Beth, keep energy level up. I sounded like I was sleeping. So Beth's gonna do her best to keep her energy up for this summer episode.
Yeah. So we assigned ourselves homework we're like, oh, what do we talk about on other years versus what we're going to talk about this year? And so the episode 110 that I went back to listen to, if you would like to go back, I swear to God, I listened to it when it first came out, like I normally do. And you have like your normal energy level, and I'm like, am I comatose? Like, what exactly is happening here? And I'm like, and I normally listen to the podcast on 1.5 speed, and I listen to it on regular speed. I'm like, oh my God, this is so painful.
I'm going back to listen to it because I did not listen to that one. And
jeez Louise, it was brutal. It was brutal.
Man.
So I did put a note in here for myself. Beth, keep the energy level up, because I sounded like I was sleeping in that episode last summer. I'm like, we're talking about fun summer stuff, and I'm like, wah, wah. I'm like,
to go on the boat,
like ovulating that day or something. Like, it was bad.
Oh, well, that's funny.
Louise.
That's super funny. Well, today is going to be all about summer lovin'. Summer lovin'. It's going to be fantastic.
That sounds like peace lovin', like 60s. A summer from the 1960s.
Oh, this episode's taking a weird turn already.
We're not even high from the 60s or anything like that either.
I'm drinking Topo Chico, and I had some coffee.
It was
popcorn.
The coffee I made you.
It was what'd you put in there?
You'll never know.
Thank you, whatever you did.
You'll never know.
All right. Okay. Back to the show.
Back to the show.
All right. So summer is all about summer. It's all about everything
magical.
Amazing.
Yeah.
If you live in a cold weather state, let's just start here. If you're in California, or
you don't get it.
You don't get it. I know that a lot of people in California wearing Patagonia jackets in the spring still. I get it. I get like the threshold for cold's a little bit different there.
Yep.
Like we threw our Patagonia jackets in a closet in probably February here because we had a pretty mild spring. Yeah.
We had a mild winter overall.
But
still.
Yes.
Nothing compares.
But if you're in a cold weather state, you know the magic that happens in the summer. It is the best time of year.
Literally, I think of like what starts out as like that spring, summer season is when all of the restaurants pull their tables out on the sidewalk.
And when they do it early.
And then,
oh my gosh.
Okay, can I tell you a story?
Yes.
Okay, the cutest story. So Mark and I'm like, we wanted to go out for dinner. We were going to take my nephew to dinner. He dipped out on us. I'm like, great. Now I can actually choose to go where I want to go, not where he wants to go. So Mark's like, I really have a hankering for pizza. I'm like, great. Let's go somewhere we don't normally go. So I gave him 2 different options. He chose Red Wagon Pizza in South Minneapolis. If you've never been, it's so damn cute, but they have this great patio. So we went there a couple nights ago. Well, it was still like only 50 degrees.
Oh, and 50's nice.
The patio was packed.
Mm-hmm.
there was no sun on it or anything, so it was in the shade, so it was chilly-ish.
In the evening?
It was in the evening. The cutest couple out on a date night, I would guess, late 60s, early 70s.
Oh.
He brought a wool plaid blanket, and he had it like over his lap, like a little old guy. And she had on fingerless gloves so she could still eat her pizza.
Oh my
and they were
God.
sitting outside on the patio drinking wine, living their best date life
Yes.
on a Tuesday night.
Welcome to
And
Minnesota.
I go, Mark, look at how cute they are. I'm like, he brought his own blanket.
Those are life
So
goals.
freaking cute.
Those are life
But like
goals.
that's Minnesota. Like that quintessentially sums it up. Is like you're able to be outside and not get frostbite or have like your snot freeze on your face.
That's the worst when you like just breathe in and your nostrils
freeze
stick together.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
And then you're like, do I have boogers in there? I don't know.
But then like when the weather gets nice and everyone's like, screw it, we're gonna be out on the patio
Constantly.
constantly.
You
and
can't
like
get a patio seat here at
dining
this
al
point.
fresco. It was so cute. And then I'm like, what kind of pussies are we eating dinner inside for crying out loud? We
Oh,
should
you
have
were
brought some.
inside?
Well, because we forgot that they had a patio.
Oh,
And
so you're
so-
just watching them like,
We sat at the window, like thinking we could be cute like this old couple out there, but nope, we didn't have blankets or fingerless gloves, so we were
next time.
sissies eating inside.
Next time.
But it was a nice little date night. But they were so cute.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. So if you are not in a cold weather state, this podcast is still going to be very relevant to summer. But we are like, if you can't tell, we're very here for this. This is like back in my, like, it's our favorite time of year.
1000%.
It will always be our favorite time of year for every reason. But let's chat about like putting things into place so we can allow for summer to actually be enjoyable.
Yes.
All right. So how do we do that, Beth? Why don't you tell us?
100%. So something that we did last year, and for sure we are in the throes of doing it again this year, and last year was kind of the first year that we did it, was to be really strategic with like Q1 into Q2, like early parts of the year and into the spring, of like, and we really decided we weren't doing any like major new marketing initiatives in the summer.
Yes.
Like, why? So many people are checked out, especially here in the Midwest. Like, why would we be rolling out something awesome? Because when we roll stuff out, it's
awesome.
Awesome. Like, why would we be doing that when there's like only a portion of the audience here to enjoy it?
Yeah, I mean, even with our webinar that we did in the spring, like we were really strategic to make sure that was done well before Memorial Day.
Yep.
Because that is when the Minnesota checkout or any cold weather state is like you're thinking differently. Your calendar gets so much busier.
You're thinking cabin life.
Cabin
like
life,
all
patio life.
Yep.
You know, kids, whatever you've got going on with your kids in the evenings, like it's totally different.
Right.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that we're not serving clients. We're just doing things strategically different in the summer.
Yeah, you know, I always think about business in general as seasonal.
Yep.
And a lot of it stems from my old photography days of like having a very seasonal business.
You had lots of seasonality.
As far as like what you were doing, but you were still working. It just shifted what it looked like. And so it really, unless you just didn't want a paycheck and then you wouldn't shift and then you would just coast for 6 months and be like, shit, I don't have any money. But really like what you were doing shifted.
Right.
So that's really what we're doing here too. And with real estate in general, that's exactly what happens. A lot of small businesses actually. You really just shift what you're doing and it just looks different. And the great thing about that is summertime, it allows for like the good stuff about summer, I think, to come in more.
But I think it's not just like living on a wing and a prayer either.
No.
I think you really have to have a plan in place. And I think that's where so many real estate agents go wrong, is that they just like check out and they're like, I am just going to live my best summer life. And then they're wondering why they're financially struggling in the fall, or like, crap, I feel like I'm a brand new agent again. It doesn't have to be like that.
No. And you know, it's like, you don't have to start over, right? It's like, we need to think of this as more of like this fluid thing that just blends together instead of check out, start over, check out, start over.
Stop, go.
Yeah, stop, go. And it's like, no, it needs to just be like you're kind of pivoting and you're kind of moving what you're doing, but everything is still working together. I'm like literally moving like a wave, if you could see me right now. But everything is flowing together how it's supposed to. It just looks different. And there's so much stopping and going in real estate. That is the reality. And how many times do we hit the fall and we hear stories of agents that are like, this is my worst year ever, or like, I don't know what I'm going to do, or I have to go so hard now. But then what happens after the fall? The holidays
kick in, and then it's the same thing all over again. It's a stupid vicious cycle that doesn't have to be there.
It doesn't. And we are our own bosses in this industry. I mean, a lot of small businesses, you're your own boss. So like, how can you make it more like fluid than like the stop, go, stop, go, stop, go? So then your business, your paycheck's always coming. You know, you can pay your bills. You don't have to stress about what's going to happen in 3 months or 6 months. You don't have to stress about what's happening in the market nearly as much because you have that business structure and that foundation set.
I'm earlier in my career, I did my business like that because I didn't know another way. And it was really stressful, like undue stress. And then once once you have more knowledge, you do things better. And
sometimes.
Thankfully, I feel like I do most of the time, but it's really been a huge shift of not having to be sort of on an emotional roller coaster along with a financial roller coaster. Yeah. It's a really terrible way to live.
It is. And with real estate, there's so much scarcity.
Yes.
That scarcity mindset comes in so much. So it's like, well, I'm busy right now, but then I'm going to get that really big break. So I'm going to be okay. And then I'm going to start all over again.
Right.
Well, it does ebb and flow, right? Like real estate's we all know what happens seasonally and with whatever's going on in the world and the market. Like that is all a real thing. But can you set up your business so it is more like level throughout and not burn yourself out during that really busy just for the break at the end? Like, of course, you're going to be busy sometimes, right? Like some seasons are always busier, but like that whole burnout break, like don't quite get to burnout and don't quite get to break, like maybe somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. Like the words that you and I love to use are like ease and flow this time of year, where you are not like totally foot off the gas, but you're also not going 100 miles an hour.
Yes.
And you can actually enjoy, like, especially the nuances of living in Minnesota in the summer and really taking advantage of it, being really strategic about family time and friends and activities and like focusing on all the things that like you and I love to do, but while serving clients at the same time. Like our level of service to our clients and our passion for our clients, none of that ever changes.
Never. It's always consistent. And that is why we have built such a sustainable business. Like that is the reality, is you have to have that. We all know consistency is so necessary for a successful business, regardless of what industry you are in. Being consistent and being like right, your clients need to know that you're always around. If they think you're checked out at your cabin all summer because you haven't reached out, like then that's a whole other issue that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
So Beth, can you share, maybe let's like shift gears a little bit, share what you do at the BPR Experience to make it so it is more flow and ease in the summer with your business. Like how does it shift? How does it look different?
Well, and this is something we do all year round, but we still batch content.
Oh gosh.
And Christy's going to be so happy that I said that. Like I have to do that. Like I can't just automatically be creative on the fly. I've really figured that out about myself, is that as much as I would like to think that I'm a creative human being all the time, I'm not all the time. So now I figured out what are my sweet spots. I'm super creative in the morning. I'm super creative if I batch my content and if in the right space and frame of mind. So I'm especially diligent with the batching ahead of time. So then I am not scrambling last minute, which then makes you have to scramble last minute, and we can all enjoy our lives
and ease, my words for the year.
Yes.
Yeah.
So batching is really key, but we're still loving on clients. Like we will do, we've got a big initiative coming out to do valuations for clients. and like customized valuations, like that's in the works. That's going out here shortly. We are still picking up the phone and calling clients, but because everybody is outdoors so much more, I'm running into clients way more just naturally in person. I was having coffee with a past client 2 days ago, and all of a sudden someone came up and is like, "Hey Beth," literally scared the shit out of me. Another past client.
Nice.
I'm like, "Oh my gosh." And he's like, "I saw your car outside." He's like, "Nobody else has your car." And so he's like, "I knew you'd be in here." But just to be able to be like, "Oh my gosh, hey, how are the kids? Like, say hi to your sweet wife. You know, how's job? You know, all that stuff." And it was just like for a split second. It was like for 2 minutes. But be able to like see him. I hadn't seen him since the Christmas party.
Nice.
I'm like, "Say hi to Ruby," you know, just really great. But like those things pop up so much more in the summer.
Just organically.
Yeah. Just being at like Concert in the Commons in Excelsior. Like I'll probably run into like 5 or 10 people. 4th of July weekend, I always am volunteering with Chanhassen Rotary. Always run into past clients. So that sort of thing. So then all of a sudden you become top of mind again because they're like, "Oh my gosh, we wanted to talk to you about buying a cabin, or we're going to put, you know, grandma and grandpa in the nursing home, and now we have another house to sell." And like, so you're just naturally becoming top of mind. But then our favorite event that we have is our brewery event.
I love our brewery event.
One of our,
so much.
So we do that in August. And so that's kind of like after like everybody's done the cabin thing and the 4th of July thing. And it's, you know, catching people before they get back to school. And we do that I usually like mid-August, and it's on a weeknight.
Yep.
Because
which also weeknights, people do things on weeknights in the summer.
Because they don't have kids in school.
It's different. Yep.
You don't have as many like sports things for kids. Like football hasn't started. Usually baseball has ended. So that event just keeps growing and growing. And the brewery that we have it at is so easy to work with. So we're like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We're just going to keep doing it there because
place.
They make it so easy and it's really centrally located. So like those are the types of things that we're really putting our energy into and not trying to reinvent the wheel.
Mm-hmm. If you hear Birch meowing, I hear Birch meowing.
So funny.
She's
I'm going to let her into our
the room. Yeah, Beth's
room.
going to let her into the podcast recording room. So I think there is definitely a way to stay present while still enjoying summer. And you can definitely still keep your business going while looking forward to things as well and to like really celebrating those things. And it doesn't have to be this like this or that, right? It can be both.
And both all the way.
Right? Yeah. So if you're listening to the podcast and you're like, okay, these are all great ideas. I still don't quite know how to, like what I should do next so I can make sure. Or like maybe you don't have a team or like you're just starting out like as a solo agent. Like what would you recommend that they do to like get in front of their clients? Like if they're not just seeing them when they're going out and about, right? Like you've been at this for quite a while. So maybe it looks different for them. Like what sort of things could they do to like make sure they're staying like in touch with clients as they are like enjoying their summer? I'm just going to start with saying obviously email, but why don't you take it from here, Beth?
Yeah. I mean, that's something that we never slack on. There's never a time of the year on the BPR experience or the Bus Bench Babes where we're like, oh, it's summer, so we're not going to send emails.
If I ever said to Beth, I think we're just going to skip emails this week, she'd be like, are you okay? Do you need to go to the hospital? Like, what's going on?
You had a head injury or
something.
something.
You would like be racing to my house, like checking out to make sure I was fine.
Yeah, no. So all year around, like that, none of that ever stops. But maybe you don't have the budget for a full-fledged brewery event like we do. Is your brokerage... Can you piggyback on an activity or an event that other brokerages do? I remember when I was at Keller Williams, they would always do like different activities and like events that would be a brokerage event. But if you market it accurately, none of your clients would ever know that you weren't the one putting on the event. And then it helps have the expense be considerably lower. Or can you just throw like an easy little picnic? Or can you just like, hey, there's like a concert in the park, which is free. Yep. You can say, I'm going to be at the concert in the park at XYZ Park.
Yep.
You know, like, hey, if you're there, hit me up and let's,
bring them something small. Like come get, a dessert or like
I'd love
something
to buy you a
simple.
beer at the concert in the Commons or whatever. And like, let me know if you're going to be there and I'll save some, I'm planning on getting there early and I'm going to save you some extra spots. Like that's free. And it's something that you were going to go to anyways. And someone's like, oh my gosh, I'm always running late and I get there and I have no spot to put our picnic table, or like lawn chairs out at. Like there are things that you can do if you're being creative and you're thinking outside the box that don't cost any money. If you're a newer agent, that's usually the biggest excuse. Well, I don't have the budget to do things.
But you probably have more time.
You have more time.
So if you use your time strategically, you can send those custom home valuations.
Right.
You can do the follow-up. You can get all of those, like all the back end stuff in place when you have that time. Like be really strategic about what you're doing in your business.
You stole my next thing that I was going to say.
I'm so sorry.
No, literally, I was going to say, like, now is the time. Like, if everybody's at the cabin, you've got time. So, like, what really heavy duty, like, initiatives are you going to go balls to the walls on come fall? Like I always joke, like we're back to school. Well, I don't have kids, but that doesn't mean that I'm not like into a back to school frame of mind in the fall where I'm like, we go to bed earlier. We have less things during the week you could be putting all those things into place right now.
Even from a cabin.
Absolutely.
You could be at a cabin doing
Absolutely.
it. Yeah.
And another big trend that we're seeing is like, everybody going to Europe in the summer. That's like the latest thing. Like hashtag Italy life. Like I'm so here for it. But that doesn't mean that you still aren't doing like your daily activities. Of course, take the vacation because everybody needs to like recharge. You can't give from an empty vessel.
Yes.
But
take the vacation without guilt. Can we add that?
1,000%. 1,000%. Have another agent watch your business, like however that looks. Have someone really strategic in place that can serve your clients while you're gone. And then you fill your cup. But then when you're back, like have normal business hours during the week as much as possible. Or maybe you don't have childcare on Friday. Well, great. Don't fuck around Monday through Thursday knowing that you might have your kids home with you on Friday. And maybe Friday is like the day that you're at the park with your family or your kids. And you can
be present. You can be present with them, right?
Well, you can also be networking with other moms at the park.
Absolutely.
What a great source of business. Oh, you're busting out of your house? Yeah, we are too. Here, I happen to sell real estate. There's an awesome house in this neighborhood that is a lot bigger than yours. Let's go set up a time to go see it.
Can I set a challenge for all the Bus Bench babes for this summer? How about, I challenge you all to not turn your business off. Like don't press stop at all this summer. And I'm not saying like, obviously keep your foot on the gas. Maybe you're like letting up a little bit. That's cool. But don't turn anything off. Don't stop. Just don't stop. Yeah. Like keep going. Whatever that looks like for you, keep going and see where you're at come fall.
Oh, I would venture to say that you'll be shocked that once everybody else is in like a back to school frame of mind, that all of a sudden your phone is ringing because you've done consistent daily activities all throughout the summer.
That's what we see.
Absolutely, also, like, every single year.
To treat summer, something else too is it's kind of like, or at least what I've seen since being in this world for the last few years is, the holiday season gets treated as like, I'm not going to work because it's not busy, which is not the case. Has not been the case for us at all.
December's have been some of our busiest months.
Like near Christmas.
Yep.
And then like same for summer, like, well, people are busy. It's the 4th of July. Like they're not out house hunting, like blah, blah, blah. That's actually not the case either.
Nope.
For us. So we can tell ourselves all of these things and even make them come true if you believe that. I do.
Right.
Or you can say, I'm going to be busy this summer and make it happen. Or I'm going to have consistent business coming in this summer and make it happen. Yeah.
100%.
Whew. Okay, so enough about business, Beth. I want to know what you are looking forward to most this summer. Obviously, working with clients is fun, but I want to know what else you're looking forward to.
Well, by the time this episode will come out, I will have just be getting back from Italy. And so I really wanted to go to Italy last summer, and it didn't pan out. Like things got really busy last summer because I was doing all the activities and keeping my foot on the gas. Like the opportunity didn't present itself last year. And so I'm really excited. We've been looking forward to this for a long time. So like that's like something. Probably like one of the biggest things I'm kind of kicking the summer off with.
Can I just add something here that we've had a busy winter, spring, and you are still able to make this happen because of what we put into place. to go to Italy. So like just to add that as like
our
it
business
can
is at
happen.
75% of what I did for the whole last year.
Yeah. So just add that in there. So like,
yeah.
It's not that we're pressing stop or anything like that. We've planned for this and leading up to it to make sure it can happen.
Yeah. But I'm really excited I have a whole bunch of concert tickets for like outdoor concerts.
Fun.
Like one of my favorite things. I'm really trying to be more intentional about when you say you're going to like get together with someone to actually just put it on the calendar, because it's so easy to say, oh my gosh, we should like grab dinner, grab happy hour. And then like 6 months more pass and you're like,
we will.
And then it never happens.
Yeah.
You just have to put it on the calendar. But then like, I love just like the nights that just happen.
Yes. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps.
Like Mark and I will go down to Excelsior and we'll like sit out on the patio wherever, like we'll sit at the rail at Haskell's favorite little dive bar and like be having dinner, and then someone will walk past and they'll be like, oh my God, let's go jump on the boat. Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
And then you're like, I didn't think the night was going to end that way, and it's just so much fun.
That impromptu life. Speaking of that, we need to put a friend date on the calendar. We haven't done that in a while. Okay. I'm gonna make
where
a
we
note
don't
right
talk
here.
shop.
Friend date. No
Friend
shop.
Date. No spouses.
No shop.
Work talk.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds nice. And you'll get some boat time with Jason and Alyssa, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Well, that's what Mark's like, we should buy a boat. I'm like, why would we buy a boat? All of our friends have boats.
Like,
well,
right?
why would we do that? That seems so dumb.
Just wait for the phone call, the invite. That's all you have to do.
Maud and Brian, Kama and Steve, they've all got boats.
I love it.
It's so much fun.
Oh,
what is that? What are you guys looking forward to?
Oh gosh, so our summer is going to look so different. In
an awesome way.
In an awesome, crazy way. So we are going to be basically, Kaya and I are going to all of us, we're going to basically spend the majority of our summer at our new property on the North Shore and living like off-grid living, Beth. Which is probably your worst nightmare.
My
as I'm
worst
sitting
nightmare,
across from you.
But you love it.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting though, because by the time this airs, we will already have jumped into that. And I'm excited. I grew up, I just like grew up in the dirt, right? Like I played outside. I went to my parents' cabins like that, or my grandparents' cabins. Like that was my life. So I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to the summer with Kaya, just like experiencing that. Also, it's going to look very different. So we're going to be working on our cabins. Yeah. So I'm like getting goosebumps here because we're recording this right before this starts. And it's like, holy crap. So life is going to look so different this summer. And I have no fucking idea what it's going to look like, but it's going to be
really
great.
Awesome.
It's going to be great. Yeah. So we'll be back obviously in the cities for like work stuff and like checking in and that kind of thing. But most of the summer we'll be up there doing that. So I say what I'm looking forward to. I don't even actually know, except for that time with her. She starts kindergarten next year. So this is like, I'm going to start crying. This is like such a big, like I dreamed of being able to like have a summer with her like this, like since having her, and it's happening. So
it's really cool.
So we're really,
because you manifest the shit out of your life. That's why
we're gonna go canoeing and hiking and just play on the North Shore and go swimming. It's gonna be awesome. It's so like Minnesota.
Your dogs are gonna live their best life up north too. Yeah.
Pray for us for wood ticks. That's all, and mosquitoes.
Oh,
everyone,
word.
Right? But aside from that, so that's what we're doing, and that's our summer. That is our summer.
And it's so cool that you don't have it perfectly mapped out. So it's going to allow so much space for the impromptu
to happen.
Joy.
I have learned, like, even with the cabin build, like Ryan and I, a couple months of trying to figure out what we were going to do. Just today, as we I figured out what we're going to do, because I was like, I can't force this. And I'm the sacral yes or no. And it was not coming. And I'm like, I know better. I have learned that I cannot force it. And so if I'm in an I don't know space, it means I need more information. And it finally all clicked. And I'm like, thank you.
That's
because
so
I don't like being in that space at all. Like
you don't operate well in that space.
Freaking out. I'm like, this has been a long time. Universe, can you give me a sign?
Yeah.
And so, but also trusting in like not knowing the end, but trusting the process is huge. So we'll see what happens come fall. I'll be checking back in with all of you.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So that's summer.
Yeah. We'll keep everybody updated about Christy's awesome project up north.
Oh, yeah. Yay. All right.
Welcome summer. It's going to be good.
It is. So if you are sitting here thinking, okay, I can do this, you absolutely can. You can have it all. You can have it all. You can create it all. Just don't press the brake. Just don't press the brake fully, at least. You can like touch it a little bit, but just don't.
Just around curves.
Hard. Yeah, just around curves. Exactly. That's good.
So until next time, bus bench babes,
remember to keep your face off a bus bench
and keep being the badass boss babes that you are.
Okay, girls, are you feeling as inspired as we are? We're over here cheering you on because you just finished another episode of the Girl, Get Your Face Off a Bus Bench podcast.
If you want more, head over to girlgetyourfaceoffabusbench.com for show notes and more episodes. And don't forget to subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. They mean the world to us, and they're what keep us going.
Girl, thanks for being here.